Hey everybody, welcome to my video on how to get the ZK Sync airdrop. But not only that, we're also going to be trying to get the Orbiter Finance airdrop and the Sync Swap airdrop. So if you were for my TikTok video, you would know that Orbiter Finance and Sync Swap have both confirmed they're going to be having tokens. And there are a few things that you can do to try to maximize the airdrop you'd get, or just make sure we're going to get it in general. So I've made a new account. MetaMask, got about 150 bucks on here. That's really all that you need. I'd only put any amount that you'd be comfortable really just risking or gambling. The more money you put on, most likely the greater the reward will be, which I'll get into a second from now. But I really wouldn't recommend putting more than 1 to 2% of your portfolio, as this is very, very risky. And another thing is that it's not guaranteed. And even if it is, it could be months before one of these three actually does an airdrop. So those are all some things you're going to want to keep in mind. And yeah, let's get straight into it. So the first thing that I did when I started to look at how to maximize the ZK Sync airdrop was I looked into the Arbitrum and the Optimism airdrop. Those were the two biggest and most recent airdrops for blockchains. So I figured that at least parts of it are going to carry over and we can try to maximize our airdrop. And the number one thing for Arbitrum that worked the best was just using it like an everyday MetaMask account. So what I mean by that is if we look into the eligibility for the Arbitrum airdrop, so this is how many of the tokens that you got. So if you got 12 or more of these boxes over here that you tick, then you got 10,250, which is around 15,000 US dollars right now, which is a pretty nice airdrop. So the first thing is just bridging funds, which we're going to do right now. And we're also going to do the Orbiter Finance, which should be able to get us their airdrop. And then the number one thing that I did not do, and that is why I missed out on the Arbitrum airdrop, was that I did not do it over several months, and I only did it within 1 day. So that's a really key thing, is you're going to want to come back to this just maybe one time a week, do a few swaps, maybe create a new LP position, just send some tokens, just anything just to be staying active. But again, just using it like a normal account, making trades on there is probably the best way to qualify for this airdrop, because when you look at these four, this depends on how many transactions you've made in general or how many smart contracts you've interacted with, both of which you could reach pretty easily just by using it as a normal chain and interacting with the applications or the dapps that are on it. And then these last 6 are just basically all how much money and how much volume you are going to put onto it. So like I said, I'm only doing this with $100 or $200, and that should be able to get us the airdrop. But whatever you feel comfortable putting on is up to you. Most likely, the more you're going to put on, the higher the reward is. So keep that in mind when you go to bridge over. I also looked at Optimisms, but theirs was a lot more simple. And it was basically just if you used it, if you're a repeat user. And then there was some pretty interesting requirements, such as being a DAO voter for one of their chosen projects, a multi-sig signer, and also donating via Gitcoin. So that's basically just supporting a project, giving them some money, saying, go and, build your dApp. And then users priced out of Ethereum. So these are just users that they knew would have to use, I believe, Optimism, because they wouldn't be able to afford the transaction fees on Ethereum. So now let's get into the meat and potatoes, and let's actually do our bridge. So we are going to go over, you could either do the ZK Sync bridge. At some point you should, but again, for the purposes of this video, we're trying to maximize airdrops. So we're going to use Orbiter Finance, and we are going to connect with our MetaMask. Boom. All right, let's see. All right, so we should have, yes, we have some Ethereum on ZK Sync. So you want to switch over to ZK Sync Era. And then from here, you're going to want to bridge. So I've already bridged, so there's nothing really else for me to do. But essentially all you're going to want to do is just click the chain that you're going to, or going from, to the chain that you're going to. Click on whatever the amount of funds is that you'd want to bridge. And then you're just going to want to click the button here. I know it says I'm insufficient. Let's change this around here. All right. Yes, then you would just click send, and it should do it within a few seconds. But now to actually see your funds in your wallet, in your MetaMask, what you're going to want to do is you're going to have to add the network. So you see all these networks here, like I've added Avalanche, Matic, I've used Optimism, is you need to add the network details to MetaMask. So I'm not sure if it'll pop up if you just search it up here, but if you do need to add it manually, I'm going to add all the details in the description. Basically just this stuff here, just a little copy paste job. And then after you add it, it's going to show up as one of these networks, and then you'll be able to see your funds like I can right now in your MetaMask. So now from here, what we're going to want to do is we are going to want to go over to SyncSwap. So now that we're on SyncSwap, we can close these two other pages, and we're going to want to connect obviously with our MetaMask. I have to disconnect some of my old accounts. All right, let's try this again. All right, boom, there we go. All right, so we're also going to want to make some swaps. So later on, we're going to be making a pool. It's actually pretty juicy, to be honest. They have a USDC and Ethereum pool, 17%. It fluctuates a little bit. It was at like high 20s, low 30s just a few weeks ago. But this not only is this potentially going to help us with the ZK airdrop, but this is also going to help us with the SyncSwap airdrop. Just interacting with the dApp, doing those transactions. Either way, it's going to help out. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is make some transactions. So I've made this little check boxes here, so you can just whatever, throw in however many addresses you're going to be using for this. You can use more than one, and again, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be like getting an airdrop, but just on multiple different accounts. I have the links over here just so you can use the proper ones. And so the first thing, if we did bridge, that would be using the Orbiter bridge. And so now we are on ZK Sync era. We have not used the ZK era bridge, but I'd recommend just doing that. Again, using the native bridge for it, probably going to help out. You know what, worst case, you lose a few bucks on gas. That's it. So the next thing we're going to want to do is now we're going to swap some tokens. So let's swap about half of our Ethereum here into USDC. And the one thing that I love about SyncSwap is they actually do a gas refund. So gas is actually quite high right now. Even on this L2, it says it's going to be $6.70, but they actually refund you for the gas they didn't use. So right there, boom, got a nice little $3 gas refund really, really quick, as you can see. Honestly, I think I might be starting to do some of my trading on here when they get more tokens that I'm going to be buying and selling. So we have just made a swap. So boom, we've made a swap. That's one thing that we can now tick off. And then the next thing that we did, we did the SyncSwap swap. And so you can also go through, and I'd say I recommend just to go through and use these dApps. I'm going to add their links up there too, just so you don't get scammed or use the wrong links. But I'm going to throw up these links on here. They're going to be very similar deal, just to SyncSwap. You're just going to want to make some swaps. And the next thing is, if you have another account, I would recommend sending and receiving tokens, just sending a few back and forth, because, as a user, even on Ethereum, I'm always sending stuff to other wallets and moving it around. So I think that's just one more part of looking and being an active address on ZK Sync. that should be able to help us get the airdrop. And the next thing that you're gonna want to do is mint, buy, and sell an NFT. So we're gonna want to go to Square, and so you can see these are where all of the ZK Sync collections are. Pretty cool. But what we're actually going to want to do is we are going to want to make our own NFT. So we're going to mint. So I'm going to go through here. Oh, this is perfect. This is from my video. So I'm just going to throw this guy in here. Say airdrop, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So we can just mint it. And again, these are all just transactions that you want to do. You know, maybe it will, maybe it won't help. We're not going to really ever know. But again, the more transactions you can do and the more unique dapps you interact with, the higher the chance that you have of getting an airdrop. And who knows, maybe Mint Square one day will do an airdrop. But we're going to want to go to collections. No, profile. So boom. Right here, there is our airdrop. So basically, I think other people on the platform are also trying to get this airdrop, and a part of their strategy is to immediately bid on any of these NFTs. I got a 10-cent bid, and I'm gonna actually accept it. And because I think that selling, not only selling, but also buying NFTs are gonna help with the airdrop. So that'll go through, that's all good. And the next thing, so let's just see where we at. So we have minted an NFT. We did not buy one, but we did sell one. So if you're gonna buy one, just maybe throw an offer or just get one that's like literally a cent. Just again, ticking those boxes, it knows internally that you're making all these transactions. And now the last thing that I'm gonna do on this video is we are gonna want to buy a ZK name service. Now, one thing I'm gonna touch on, just in case if you're confused, you're gonna see at the top here, the ZK Sync Lite. And now that was their test chain. And if you want, you can go on there and you can make some transactions. As you can see here on Arbitrum Nova was their testnet. And they actually got you, just even if you just used their testnet and did 10 transactions, you would have gotten about 22,000 US dollars roughly. So it is definitely worth it. If you guys want, I can upload a video on that, get another account on there and I can show you guys. But what we're going to want to do is we are going to want to go to the ZK name service. And so one is we can either buy, sorry, just some technical difficulties there. So basically what we're going to want to do is we're just going to sort it from low to high, and then we'll just buy the cheapest one. So right here, oh, this guy's as a bid. Okay, so let's see, price low to high, or auctions ending soon. Don't want to bid on any of those. All right, so, okay, there we go. So we're past the bids right here. This one is $6.72. You just click buy now, buy it, and then you'll have that name. Or also what you can do is you can go to the ZK era name service. Ooh, a little bit of a spelling error there, but you can just go and you can register. You can go there and you can register your own domain name on ZK Sync. And now what that means is that when people send money to that address across any different network, you'll end up getting it in your wallet as long as they send it to the address. So for mine is called not showing up, but it's Napoleon 13. So if anybody sends funds to that, then I will receive it, and it's a lot easier than typing out all those wallet details that you normally would need to do to send anything. And now the last thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to pull together a position. So we are going to create a new position. We're just going to stick with classic USDC and ETH. So let's deposit. So we're going to just click maximum on USDC, and it should add tokens in a balanced proportion. Perfect. And again, the really nice thing about using SyncSwap is the gas refund fee. It's really nice, especially if you have a smaller account. It doesn't eat into the fees as much. But like I said, Gwei is pretty high right now. I believe it is, 60. So it's definitely up there. It's nothing too crazy, but you'll notice it. So we're still waiting for the unlocked USDC. So now we're going to click deposit, and we are going to, I see. All right, so I don't have enough gas left over, so let's just go with 0.03. So we're going to deposit, confirm, boom, done. And here is our position. And so you can see how much fees you're earning. And the one cool thing is that with the time machine, it's not working. All right, interesting. But as you can see our position value, and we can see how much we're earning. It's going to show up over time. So this one should be getting us just under 20%. And doing all of these things should be able to get us an airdrop. And so the number one thing that we want to remember is, so firstly, for Orbiter Finance, you want to bridge as many times as possible. I've been seeing different things online. Some people are saying just using it once is enough. Some people are saying 5, 10, 25 times. So ideally, as many times as you'd like to. I'd recommend just going from another L2 to an L2, like let's say Arbitrum to ZK. But they do also analyze, if you're just going back and forth, they'll probably know that you're not using it for normal purposes. So I wouldn't recommend just doing that. And then also with SyncSwap, I think that this one's going to be more of a volume-based airdrop. So I think the amount of money that you are trading is going to be noticed. So try to make as many swaps as you can. And then again, with SyncSwap and with the ZK Sync airdrop, you're going to want to use this daily, weekly, just as often as you can. Ideally using it or trying to use it like a normal account, and that should be able to get us the maximum airdrop. So like I said, I'm going to put up all these links. If you want, you can do all of these, or if you want, you can just do the ones that I did in the video. But like I said, the more the better. Personally, I've done every single one of these, maybe or maybe not on multiple accounts, but this is, to the best of my ability, what you should do to maximize the airdrop. So that's it for the first video. Leave a comment, make sure to subscribe. That'll really help me out. I'm trying to just grow this out right now. First video in the books.